to cook that simple meal. And for that sake, he even called his parents who are uh, in the midnight. So what makes them do that? Are they too dependent on their parents? And the other side of the discussion said, this is a China's culture and this is a tradition, and parents would like to do whatever their children ask them or children expect them to do. So the discussion goes really wild. So everybody wants to voice their opinion. So this piece of advertising attracted a tremendous amount of audience and attention. So this credit card got a record sales for all the products that they launched in those years. So this is a good combination of PR and advertising. And as I talk about the value of PR is to generate free communication. People want to engage without any incentive or any monetary incentive to engage in that discussion. They just believe that topic is worth discussing. So this is a power of PR, and then PR cannot do everything. So it has to be combined with certain paid media, paid creatives, in order to get a bigger audience. So another subject is co-branding, because a lot of Chinese brands are small compared with their global counterparts. So they like to co-brand with all these global companies. And also there's a trend that in these years, local or national brands are working among themselves for big or small promotional campaigns. So brands are looking for non-competing partners with common purpose and inspiration to its audience. So you can take a look at some examples. This is a global brands. So Supreme, they work with all kinds of brands. Supreme partners with COS. The COS T-shirt sells just like crazy, and Supreme has a very good campaign with Louis Vuitton, and also attracting worldwide attention. For the Chinese brand, so this is just one example among hundreds and thousands, is that you can't imagine that a hot pot brand, a hot pot product works with a toothpaste. Can you imagine a toothpaste will taste spicy? So this attracts the younger generation. People talk about that. So they said, could you imagine, can you buy a toothpaste that tastes spicy? It's really the taste of Sichuan hot pot, Sichuan spicy word. So people talk about that, and that product, that toothpaste product, becomes a market hit for at least a quarter. And for auto company, Hongqi or Red Flag is a Chinese is a China's pride. It was born in 1950s. It was almost halted because it only serves the single purpose for national leaders in a big parade or national ceremonies, without being able to attract the true consumers. In the past few years, so this brand is being reborn. So it is working with Li Ning, the fashion brand. Li Ning was a former Olympic champion for athletics. He was a national hero. He still is. He created this brand in 1980s. So now it becomes a very good, very famous fashion icon in China. So these companies, these two brands work together. You can see their TV commercial is shot in the Forbidden City. And the jacket, the co-branding jacket of Li Ning and Hongqi, it becomes a market hit. So people talk about made in China car and made in China fashion. And again, to this Hongqi or red flag car. So you can see on the
এই তো বাসায়।
Yeah.
হ্যাঁ। ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে।
Yeah.
ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, ওকে ওকে, ঠিক আছে। ওকে, ঠিক আছে।
It's a SUV version attracting younger generations. You can see the sales of Hongqi or Red Flag. It is really skyrocketing over the past few years. You can see on the left from 2013, 14, it is almost static. And starting, you can see from 2018, it is started to rise dramatically. So from January to September this year, the sales got a record over 130,000 cars were sold, and it's over 104% increase year on year. The segment leaders are still Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Audi, but with this trend, you can see Hongqi and China's luxury brand is really catching up. So not only Hongqi, there are other national brands are competing with the global giants. For example, Geely. Geely was a national brand. On the left, all the three models are Geely makes. So you can see all those four charts. Geely is really growing in the last 3 years, despite the sluggish auto market in the past few years. You can see Volkswagen still the market leader, GM followed by GM and Toyota. But you can see Geely and Great Wall and all these national brands are really emerging. The big momentum for Geely is when it purchased Volvo share, the two companies merged about 10 or 15 years ago. And it has the R&D capacity from Volvo, and it is growing from a local um, uh, brand to a really a premium product, attracting both old and young generation. You can see these two words. One is 国货. If you know some Chinese, 国货 means national products. In the past, we always say we got to buy 国货. We all got to buy national product because this is a homegrown. We got to support our national brand. And on the right is a new term called 国潮, means nation's cool or national cool. So it has to be the cool product. Later on, we'll touch on the point is whether the growth of a national brand is really attributed to the growth of patriotism or U.S.-China conflict or international geopolitical changes. Yes or not? Not really. The growth of a national brand is it's because it has transformed from a national product to a nation's cool product. So you can see more national products will work with the nation's cool product. So the cool product that, as I said, Hongqi is making itself cool, Leading is making itself cool, and then all these brands are making themselves with a cool face, with some dynamics, with some fashion elements. They're working with designers, latest designer, international designers to make them look great and look sexy. And the Tmall, the Alibaba arm of e-commerce, they are working with all these what we call cool China's brands and bring these brands to New York Fashion Show, London Fashion Show. And so you will see more love for Chinese brand faces in this global major fashion events, ranging from all categories and all industries, as long as it has the international appeal. Tmall or Alibaba can bring them to the global stage, attracting the global audience. Back to this fashion or sportswear, market. You can see Li Ning and Anta. Anta is another major national brand. So they are really growing despite the smaller market share compared with the Nike and Adidas. But you can see the trend is like this. So these national brands are competing heads on with Nike and Adidas. The very good, the very important priority that these local companies are making is that they are making themselves cool, not only a national product, but they mostly a cool product. Thirdly, digital platforms that change the rule of marketing. So we talk about the PR and advertising and all these traditional methods of marketing, but now as a growth of the internet and social media, especially e-commerce and online shopping, the marketing landscape is being transformed. I will see clearly this trend in China. So the rise of live broadcast selling becomes a really important national trend, and the systemized marketing operation becomes a key. A lot of young people are working on how to maximize their homepage and doing all kinds of posters to attract different groups of audience. And the rise of marketing technology, MarTech, is being applied in all areas. Live broadcasts. So this year, the global pandemic really makes the live broadcast sales really possible and emerge because a lot of people are locked down in their homes without able to visit shopping malls. So a lot of companies started selling online. They used popular stars, and these they're on the left. There are very important stars that use live broadcast sales to help a lot of brands to sell in tremendous scale. So the few reasons why live broadcast is on the rise. So massive product offering and surplus because there are enough products in every categories. So the competition is really fierce. And the matured online shipping makes this live broadcast sales possible because the all these courier companies, express mail company, they can send the products, some of them just overnight or within a day to many parts of the country. Within 3 days, it can reach any remote corner of the country. And also the enhanced internet 5G for visual for video communication really makes this live broadcast sales boom, and also COVID-19. And also on the left, you can see CEOs. On the top right is a government official, the county leader, who goes to the live broadcast room to sell agricultural product because of this live broadcast sales boom, because of this new trend. So people would like to watch this online broadcast, live broadcast, to see what's on sale and what they can buy. And the broadcasters talk about the specific features, and they give a huge price cut to sell in big volume. And on the bottom right, you can see the CEO of Gree company, one of the major air conditioning um, maker of the company. So she goes to this broadcast room to sell the company's product, which becomes a market hit. So everybody is talking about this lady, who some of them we called her the online sales queen. So because she has a tremendous power of her selling and promoting her brand in the broadcast room. So this guy is really famous. His name is Li Jiaqi. So uh, he's uh, the pre now we are approaching to November the 11th, big promotion day, but the pre Double 11 campaign has already started. So I'll give you an example. So just in one night, just within a few hours, he was sitting in his broadcast room and selling dozens of brands, and all these brand names are listed here. So the total revenue he generated just in one night is around the 3 billion RMB. So it's something like between 500 to 600 million dollars. So the huge selling power. And you can see on the left are international brands. On the right are China's national brands. So you can see probably international brands are more than domestic brands, meaning global companies are really taking advantage of this big promotion season and use these kind of stars to help promote their products. And this lady with the equal uh, famous name as Li Jiaqi. So she generated on that single day about the same volume as that gentleman did, creating sales revenue of over 3 billion RMB, which is around 500 to 600 million dollars. So it's a huge amount. So you can see she was helping more international brands on the left are international brands on the right are China's national brands. So these people are has these people just have a tremendous power of selling products. So we have to admire and we have to think about what and how they have such a big power. Is it because the size of the market, or we don't know. You better see how they are in action selling all kinds of products. All right, so the cosmetics category sales in this Double 11 promotional season. So you can see in the last 3 years, the top selling brands are still, you can take a look, some of them are in Chinese. I try to put the English name here. So most brands are global brands, international brands. So you can see, but Chinese brands are catching up. Here's a discussion. So this is a huge promotion generating big volume. So will that trend continue? Is brand still important, or simply a company or brand can hire a star to do this big promotion, generate a big sales volume? So there is a big discussion in the marketing industry. So one argument says that because these international brands have very good momentum or have very good foundation, they probably can afford to just focus on this sales promotion without putting too much attention on brand building. It probably can last for at least 2 or 3 years. But for Chinese companies or Chinese brands, how can they win in this price war? Or a lot of emerging brands, and some of them I talked before, some of them are listed here on this page. They are thinking not only about engaging in this big promotion campaign, but to build a strong brand, getting much bigger premium for the product instead of engaging in price war. So this is a most mature or getting mature Chinese brands are really thinking. So traditional marketing and new marketing. So we talk about 4 Ps all the time. And new marketing means 4 Ps plus enhanced marketing operation, meaning something as simple as operating your search engine and maximum your website But there are other things and to create a more effective for uh, uh, social CRM and also build your customer database and tracking your customer behavior, getting a bigger membership base. So and co-branding with other related brands and companies. So these are very important aspects of marketing that we didn't pay enough attention back in the newspaper ages. Now we are in mostly mobile phones, data focused world. So these marketing operations, especially digital capability, becomes much more important. And here, you don't have to look at every brand. So this is a map that certain companies just put it together. This is called the China Martech Service Providers. You can see these companies in different category. I just listed a few on the bottom, including mobile marketing, search, social ad, digital marketing platform, data analysis, video content marketing, social CRM, marketing automation. So all these categories, major category, they are service providers. Before that, in my years of working with a multinational companies as a brand and marketing leader, we worked mostly with creative agencies and media agencies. So now a CMO has to learn all these techniques and has to know all these areas, and if not all, some major areas. You have to apply marketing technologies uh, in your marketing strategy and operation. So there are great opportunities, and I hear a lot of old generation CMOs talk about. So we're lagging behind. We have to learn all these new things, and we call ourselves for back wave, and we have to learn from the. Oh, sorry, we are front wave, and we have to learn from this back wave, the Generation Z, the younger people who knows how to use this digital capability to help build a brand and promote a product. So finally, Generation Z, patriotism versus independent mind. So there's the Sunday Times, the British Sunday Times stories just over the weekend. It says about the bourgeois young generation of China. So they have great confidence. They are more assertive. They are wooed by retailers, and they're also the source of the new superpowers future, corporate political leaders. So this young generation, while probably in the US, a major European market, they are talking about pandemic and US presidential election. All these Chinese consumers are talking about buying iPhone 12 and how to make their lives better. They buy all kinds of new and cool products and working to create all these new and cool brand. So this generation is more confident. So you see the headlines of who needs democracy? China's 400 million millennials prefer iPhones. So it is not a pure consumerism, but it's a combination of patriotism, consumerism, and independent mind that makes this generation really unique, and I would say even powerful than their the last generations. So in terms of culture, so these people, these young people, more embrace. I would say the mainstream culture is something in China that the government is promoting, something like the values, the socialist and the communist values. We are talking, the government departments are talking about prosperous, making China prosperous, democratic, harmonious, and the people got to be friendly and respecting the orders. So these are traditional Chinese culture and virtue the government is still promoting, while the young generation, they prefer engaging in secondary culture. I don't know this Japanese term, quadratic element, ACGN. I think it means animation, comic, game, and novel. Fujoshi is also a Japanese term, but meaning two handsome young men getting together, getting interacting on all these things. So what we call the secondary culture, a non-mainstream culture, is really taking um, the space for the young people to engage in kind of discussion in social media space. So the latest the movies, the promotional campaigns are really focusing on this kind of culture. So it means opportunities for marketers to generate discussion among this group of young people. So you can see all these classic are still popular. Disney, Simpson, and the Japanese comic animation, they're all popular. They are easily becoming a hot topic among young people. And also for the consumption, the consumer trend. Here, this page tells an example of a fragmented market in the laptop market. You see on the far right is what we call the consumers in small town or young people in small town. So this group for audience represent the biggest growth of purchase for laptop device over the last year. So this is something that many multinational companies did not pay enough attention, but the local brands are trying just to reach out to every corner of the country or every segment that traditional marketers, traditional or multinational brands are never thought of. So this represent tremendous growth opportunities for the emerging brand. So how the market trend in China suggests the opportunities for the new generation market. So here is just a few suggestions, a few lines I would just want to briefly talk about. So traditional marketing, we have this classic rules. We talk about the 4 Ps: product, price, promotion, and what product. Product, price, place, and promotion. Yeah, this is the 4P. And we talk about the advertising PR, less spending, maximum result. We talk about the consumer insight, doing 360 survey, consumer survey. And we need, for PR people, we need geopolitical insight. For the new marketing rules to embrace the trend of this new and dynamic market. So we need to apply more of a systemized marketing operation. We need to use more video and visual instead of for words and text. So we got to have a data capability, data collection, and data analysis. And formerly, the CMOs are from creatives area, but now CMOs got to work with CIO, Chief Information Officer, and the Chief Technology Officer. So CMO becomes more of a CIO or a CTO, or a combination of these roles become a Chief Operating Officer, or even I think the future CEO might have the combination of all these capabilities and skill set. So this is about the growth of China's national brand and what this trend really means to future marketers. And I also briefly talk about how multinational companies, international brands can really compete in this dynamic market. So this is my um, topic, and I'd like to spend some time to get your questions. So the way you ask questions, probably you can just raise your hand and talk. And also you probably can send your question on this text window if you can do that, if you can read that. So any questions you would like to ask, please talk or send a text message. Okay, got a question from Celia. Do you think the live stream sales mode will spread to other countries or will only remain used in China exclusively? I would say live stream sales mode, mostly it has to have an infrastructure in place, meaning I would say the transportation and all this express mail service needs to be ready. So this is one thing. The second is online payment capability got to be ready. So China has a very good system for Alipay and WeChat Pay and all these convenience. I wouldn't say credit card is not convenient, but with Alipay and all this internet payment method, it makes it easier for Chinese consumers to buy online. I would say this trend will extend to certain countries, but I think there are few preconditions. One is the infrastructure, and second is probably the size of the market, the size of the audience, so that commodities and companies can really compete in offering different levels of price in order to attract the audience. Thank you, Celia, for this question.